Well, hello, it's me. Good to have you here again. Welcome to another Upgrade Hell Thursday. We're actually back in ZZZ for a bit. I don't know for how long, but yeah. Let me actually check out what we're missing today, or what we're trying to upgrade today. I don't remember from last time. I think I was still trying to upgrade CCA, but I want to see what we're missing. Right, so we're still missing 4 of these. So let's actually finish this up real quick. Because I was just gonna take a 30,000 years at this rate, but you know, I know I'm uploading this relatively late for what I'm supposed to. I was also technically supposed to start out Tartarus Thursday this week, but I'm gonna be so for real, y'all. I am so brain dead. It's just absolutely out of it. I am so out of like this week. And I've been just basically resting up more than anything else. But I needed like a minute, man. I've been basically just sitting down and kind of recovering for the week. And I've been thinking about what I'm gonna work on this weekend. And not gonna lie, that is a little bit stressful. But I'm also waiting on a bunch of packages to arrive. Not necessarily today, not necessarily tomorrow. But I am kind of waiting for. I'm waiting for that to arrive, right? But more than anything, I'm just kind of. I've been just kind of. More than anything, I've been kind of just trying to figure out what to do with like this week, because I was finding it really hard to motivate myself, and like really more than anything, just thinking about what to do, right? Now, whether that was gonna be anything super interesting. Would be up for me to say. It would be the main thing I want to see. We got that one. We got this one, and we're gonna pop. Pop the E, pop another E, pop another E, and then pop the Q. Definitely taking me a second. Pop that E, and pop that. Wow, whoa, hello. All right, that took me a hot minute. I think the rotation's been out of it for me. But yeah, no, let's do it again. Yep. But yeah, I've been kind of not so much dreading this day, but I was trying to figure out what to do, because I've got so much I'll be real. I got some shit to do, like on the backlog of whether it's events, whether it's minigames, whether it's like a bunch of other shit. I kind of don't want to do it, like at all. And it's not that it's like kind of like wrecked up on me, but it's more like shit. Like I got so many like cool events to do, and like I gotta do them in like. Debating on doing that on my on the PS5, right? But amongst more things than anything, right? I've been dreading doing anything at this point. Because, I'll be real, it definitely has, what I've been feeling, right? I've been feeling lately that, like, a lot of my gear has just been, like, very, oh, pardon me. I just sneezed, but man, that like, took it out of my brain for a second. Holy. Here, pop that. But I'm kind of so God. But yeah, more than anything, what I've been seeing, right? Actually, let me reset because I think I'm so out of it today. I can't really put words together right now. But yeah, in other words, I've been like really feeling like really down recently. More as in fatigue-wise, and in this past week, I've been basically just feeling like I'm recovering, and I'm also really tired. And from that recovery, right? Oh, come on, almost got it. And from recovering, I'll just be real with y'all. It's frustrating. You know, I've reached that point where I think making videos is more frustrating for me. Not because I hate making them, but because it feels like I'm being weighed down, right? That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm waiting a weighted best. And there's nothing I can do about it. Because the problem right now, right? And I keep bringing it up, and I can't stand myself bringing it about it. It's a computer like crisis at this point, right? That's what it is. That's what's been fucking keeping me up at night. That's what fucking annoys me every single fucking morning I wake up. And it's so dumb, in my opinion. It's genuinely so fucking dumb that one thing feels like it ruins my entire fucking day. Now, I finally watched the gaming nexus, like the majority of the video. I still have to finish it off, but I finally watched what is essentially why everything is so expensive, right? Like, they kind of, at least from the consumer electronics side of things, right? That's kind of what ended up happening. And what they talked about is that essentially, right? So put it like this, right? There are a bunch of building bricks, right? Let's put it in terms of Lego, because I just think it'd be kind of funny to just kind of put in those terms. There's building bricks, right? That you need for a set. And in order to build this set, you need like the regular 1x1 studs, right? Or the 2x2 brick. Literally the vanilla Lego thing, right? And in order to get the building blocks, because it's as if Lego didn't actually make his own as if Lego didn't make his own sets, is what it seems to be, right? And in the case for and in the case for like PC manufacturing parts, that's kind of what it ends up being, right? Like they basically don't build their own like the basic components, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. And TLDR, or like too long didn't want to finish this video. One of the things that I kind of had to come up, or not necessarily come up with, one of the things that I realized is like, okay, so they don't actually get the main building blocks. They basically have to get like the basic building components of the RAM and SSD, which is basically I think it's essentially like wafers, right? And how do I put it, right? The reason SSD is so expensive is two components, two reasons, right? The first one is it has RAM on it. The second one is just more components than just the RAM is what it ends up happening, right? When you have multiple components in one item, it's a compounded thing, right? So an SSD could cost you a certain amount, and when you try and buy it from essentially the main manufacturers, the chip manufacturers, I guess is the main thing, right? What they've been doing is that they've been charging a lot because there's only a limited amount. Now, why has there only been a limited amount? And what I've come to find upon watching the video, which I think you all should check it out. It's a 3-hour long video, so it may necessarily be something you just want to watch, but I liked it. I'm gonna continue watching it. I think I don't know if tomorrow or when, but yeah. So I'm watching this fucking 1.5 hour, like 1 to 2 hour video, or like the first 2 hours of this video, right? And what I've come to an understanding is, okay, so we got components, they're expensive. It takes some of the building components that cannot be manufactured in-house, have to be essentially bought because there's a limited amount. Now, two things: why is there a limited amount? And the reason for it, I think, is some kind of level of bullshit. But the reason for it is pretty simple: money. It's making the money. And the problem is, at the rate shit's going, if they keep it up with that type of fucking situation, if AI crashes, the entire fucking global economy is basically dead. Now, why do I say that? Well, the problem is, there's some big numbers, right? We're talking trillion numbers kind of thing, right? The reason I say trillions is because NVIDIA is involved among things, right? So I think NVIDIA is like one of the first $1 trillion companies, right? And it's not just them, it's Google, it's like every company under the sun that is really involved with like what they call artificial intelligence, which, in all honesty, couldn't even be brought up to that fucking standard, which is all just machine learning with extra steps. Extra steps being is just called something different. That's what it is. In all honesty, it's basically like the searching algorithm. It is just essentially a query algorithm that will give you an answer according to not necessarily the correct answer, but according to the most, the one that brings you the most satisfaction to whether it be the customer or whoever it is that's asking, basically, right? So, Norwood mode. In pursuit of this. But what am I call it? Yeah, so upon trying to understand all this, it really just came down to, well, a lot of companies are buying, I'll just say it. They basically spawn cam the fucking basic components that it takes to make RAM and SSDs, right? The reason why it takes certain components to make SSDs, it's primarily because Samsung and other companies have realized that in order to make faster RAM, or in order to make faster SSDs, it's actually better to have some sort of storage component in the SSD itself. And the type of component that it needs is RAM, which essentially is a little bit faster, so it kind of has like a backlog of ways to kind of push it into it, right? Now, the longer this prolongs, and it's gonna probably be like this up until 2028, maybe even maybe at least 2027. And I am gonna be so for real with y'all. I am sick of it. I'm gonna have to wait, and it's not gonna be nice. But if all comes down and it fucking turns to shit, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna watch the chaos unfold. Pop that in. Come on. But yeah, it's kind of like a no shit Sherlock kind of thing. Alright, we got this, we're almost done, but yeah, no, like really amongst things, right? I'm kind of having a little bit of trouble with just kind of concentrating because of like the game, right? Alright, we're almost done. Alright, we're almost done. 3, 2, 1. Bum, bum, bum. Almost dead, actually, this rate. God, I actually got it twice. What the hell? Alright, that's it for that one. Holy shit. Oh, okay. But, yeah, no. To put it simply, I'm tired. We're gonna all have to wait at this rate, at the rate that that's going. Not necessarily because I think it's gonna happen. Because in all honesty, most likely it may not change a thing. But there's really no other option left for us at this point. Is the problem, right? I think everything being priced as it has been, right, is genuinely depressing. But more than anything, it is annoying. And not necessarily listening it from that person that kind of drove it down hard, but the fact that hearing it come from directly from the actual manufacturers of these components, that they're like, I think one of the highest numbers I heard, and doesn't necessarily apply to everything, but the fact that their numbers are 70% down, not for everything, right? I think on average was like 30 to 40% down in sales, right? That's ridiculous. From my perspective, most investors would look at a company and complain for a 3% loss of revenue. This must be freaking out investors like crazy, dude. Because I know everybody has money, but like, it sounds so insane hearing a number above 10, above 2 digits, a 9% drop. Anything in the GDP, if it dropped down by like a certain percent, it just would make people mad. It would just fucking incite riots amongst things, right? We already did our dailies. I think we can also like do something else in here as well. I think it's a weekly task that I finished it. That's fine. Click on this. I think we can do some. Probably have some here. I need to do Lost and Found. Let's go to this one. But yeah, no, dude. I keep talking about this every other fucking week, and I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm so tired of it. I'm talking about it. Fucking like makes me not literally depressed. It depresses me. It saddens me. It fills me with like help Mr. Sherman retrieve his photo. To a cat? Okay. Yeah, out of the one time that I could actually be talking, and I'm shutting up. I'm kind of intrigued by this cat. It says he lost it with his cat. Is it this guy? I think I got it. Interesting. I walked around way longer than I needed to, I think. Oh jeez. I am curious to see what I can get from this because I have some thousands so far. I have Bernice, Gilded Blossom. I can't remember what this is. Yeah, Fact 6 is kind of crazy, but it makes sense. Soldier Zero Ambi has one too. I know this stuff has it. Tune Calibrator, this stuff. Daily Performance. Outpost Logistics, okay. Deep Cleaning Service is kind of cool. I kind of wish we had more of the things already, but did they change it? Because I know you could craft it at some point, like with something else. Hold on. Maybe they swapped it around, but man, I'm gonna be so for real. I'm so out of it today. I'm gonna be so for real. Talking about that just kind of fucking made me so annoyed, and just like very low. God, it really is just fucking there, isn't it? I don't want to make videos, not necessarily because I don't like making videos, but because it feels so fucking. It feels so fucking pointless to not make them as high quality as I can. Because I literally have 90% of my components behind me, right? We've talked about this already. I have the GPU, I have the. Fucking wish I had the SSD. I have an SSD that's 4 terabytes in my computer. I could use that. But the problem is, what I need is a faster SSD. I'm gonna be running so much shit on it that I am buying a hard drive for it at some point to push some of my videos on it. But I would like it to be faster because the amount of shit I'm gonna be doing is gonna kind of require me to like essentially I need it for editing, right? The editing is gonna take so much of my read and write shit that when I try and transfer over files and move them around, it's not gonna take me like 30 fucking minutes to do it. And again, that's kind of like use what you can, and I've done it in the past, but it takes me like a hot minute to kind of fucking render out the fucking video, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's just frustrating. And again, it's kind of one of those reasons. I'll just try to tell you. It's one of the reasons why I personally do not like editing, not necessarily editing. It's the simplest reason. It's why it taken me so long. Like say fuck, like it's why it's all one take, right? That's what that's why most of my videos are all one take. Everything I say is gonna say here whether I like it or not, unless it really is something I shouldn't be fucking talking about. And I'm just like, don't fucking put it in there and just don't talk about it. At this point, I've been kind of getting used to it. I talk about generalizations and most stuff. It's fine. But the main thing for me, right, is when I'm trying to do. All right, hold on. I can make batteries, right? I thought I could. Hold on. Prepaid power card can also be used for crafting ether batteries. Intel board exchange points. Oh, hold on, we're gonna grab this. Didn't I not get one? Fading signal exchange. Hold on. What is this? Oh no, not this shit. I like to live this for something else. Here and there I would love for this stuff, but like it's also not really worth it. It's not that it's not worth it. It's just expensive. Interesting. Not clear on that. But yeah, no. Again, I have most of my components behind me. Having that this close to me, right? And if I didn't buy a lot of my components, right? Straight up, I'll tell you one thing. My GPU ramped up $200 from within a week, right? It changed with around $200. It has now remained a constant $900. It has not really changed. In fact, it has stayed so consistent that I'm actually scared it might actually go up at this rate. I have a $1,000 GPU behind me. I can't really do much with it. My CPU is a $300 to $400 device or GPU. It has 12 cores. It's nice. I can't do shit with it, and maybe I could like hold out to just kind of pay these prices, but it's so genuinely expensive. It's one of those things that like I don't want to touch it. I'm afraid that I'll become the fucking just the fucking not a joke, dude. I'm scared, right? Spending that much money on one component, right, is so utterly ridiculous. I consider buying the fucking the shitty version of my SSD, but fun fact, and I haven't really talked about this, but and actually I did talk about this, not necessarily in Upgrade Hell Thursday, but I'm watching the prices. They're not going to go down for like a long time, up until they can't really afford to keep them in their fucking store shelves, which is what it might be looking like at this rate, right? But more than anything, right? It kind of would set a precedent of something expensive being okay, right? And I've been watching this, right? All right, let me tell you two things. I've been watching the Samsung 990 Pro SSD 4TB. That's what I've been watching. From actually, I don't think they went up $100, but it's still expensive as shit. Actually, it went down in price now. At some point, it was like $800. It actually went down a little bit in price. $750 now, but not really sold on that. Regardless, I'd rather eat shit and die than pay these prices like that. But TLDR, right? At the lower end, some of these SSDs, right? And like let's say lower end on the cost. The fucking at the lowest price that I considered reasonable was like $300. $300 with 4 terabytes of SSD space is fine. Now I'm looking at hard drives that have probably double, triple the capacity of what the fucking SSD I have has, and I'm considering buying it at that same price point. But it's also keeping this in mind. It's lower and is meant more for mass storage, but it cost me basically the same that an SSD would have costed me. Again, half the storage, but storage is not equivalent at the speed, right? Because we're talking 6 gigabits per second versus it's not necessarily 6 gigabits, because I think it was like 6 gigabits to megabits, right? Megabytes, right? 750 megabytes per second, right? Versus 7,000, which means that at the fastest one, it's gonna be a factor of 10 times slower, which is ridiculous in all honesty. But there's nothing I can do. But enough yapping. I think we're gonna end it here because it's definitely been going on for way too long. We finished up CCA. That's kind of like the nicest thing we got today. I don't want to talk further because again, it's already pretty late. I'm tired. I'm mentally fatigued. More than anything, I sided myself for no fucking reason. I'm like, hey, this is sad. I also gotta go do feed my dog for a bit. So that's safe for a bit. I gotta go feed my dog. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Stay solid, and honestly, I hope you guys are having a better time wherever you're at. If anything, if you're kind of looking to buy like something, in all honesty, I would kind of consider refurbish if you really have to. Refurbish computers, specifically more laptops than anything, because the main thing with that is that a lot of the components, since they're kind of soldered on, their value is kind of really shitty, or like the value for resale, right? So because people were buying right, they were buying RAM um to sell basically, right? Or they're buying laptops, taking out the RAM, and then reselling it. And that was kind of an issue. So if you want to just kind of get around necessarily some of the ideas, is you probably should consider solder RAM. Not a great solution, but it's a great alternative to what the possibilities are cost wise right now. And it's not an end all be all trick because again, every computer has like different pricing points and changes and stuff. I bought my sister a laptop recently, and it was about $1,000. Um, and it's decent because it's technically new gen. It's basically the next tier of my computer. It has 4 gigabytes more of GPU space, and it is technically an NVIDIA. Not a fan of it necessarily of NVIDIA, but it is at least a decent GPU for most standard games. Now, will the drivers work? That's for later to fucking figure out. But regardless, it's gonna be a decent computer for the majority of things my sister needs. And in my personal opinion, if you can, I would recommend AMD more than anything. If you have like, if you were looking for kind of alternatives and stuff like that. But we'll leave it at that. Hope you guys have a good one. Stay solid and bye. Have a wonderful day. Again, I'm repeating myself.